I love phrasal verbs and idioms, but especially idioms, today at least. The question is, what is an idiom exactly? Well, an idiom is just an expression or a phrase. It's peculiar because its meaning is not always obvious just by looking at the words in them. Oh no! Let's take this exchange between two people at a train station. They're looking at a ticket machine to see if they could buy tickets. You may have spotted that search me is the idiomatic expression. Now, in this case, this speaker does not literally want the other person to search his body. He's actually saying, I don't know. I really don't know. Search me is an idiom that means I really do not know. Now let's look at this exchange at the mechanics. Here you may spot that the idiomatic expression is I'm at a total loss. Again, this is not literal. The mechanic has not lost anything. What he's actually saying is that he does not know how to fix the car. Pedro's mother is having a birthday, but again, he does not know about his mother's plans for her birthday. In this case, the idiomatic expression is to be in the dark. To be in the dark about something means to not know about it. Okay, so I hear you say, do native speakers really use these idioms? Well, yes, they do, and they use them in all sorts of places. And just like speakers of other languages use idioms too, these idioms can appear in sport, movies, in politics, in your lectures, in songs, in all sorts of books, blogs and articles, and just about everywhere in everyday conversation. So they are very common. Here are two well-known people from England, the Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, and the England football captain, Harry Kane, both speaking, both using idioms. Can you see if you can spot the idioms? Yes, bounce back meaning recover, and top drawer meaning very good indeed. Now, why do we use idioms? Well, first of all, people are not robots. Idioms make life more colourful. They can convey emotion, they're fun and they're creative. They get people to pay attention. They create interest and they often provide a social function. Okay, so native speakers do use idioms a lot, but why should learners use them? Which is a good question. Well, mainly because it will improve learners' ability to communicate. Obviously, you don't need to use them all the time. The aim is to understand them. People will try to communicate with you and they will use idioms. So if you can understand them, it will improve your ability to communicate with them. If you're taking exams, there's a certain amount of idiomatic language in official exams. And it would be important or wise to make yourself aware of these. And when you get to higher levels, you can often express yourself more clearly by using them. And you can use them in a more technical way. Okay, so are they easy to learn? Yeah. Yes. And no. See, some are and some aren't. But you don't have to learn all of them. You don't have to use all of them. And it's not a good idea to try to learn too many at once either. They're not so logical and they're not always constrained by the rules of grammar. Start by focusing on those that are more relevant to you. So for example, idioms based around school or work or family. These are areas that most of us are aware of. It's a nice idea to use pictures to help you learn idioms. Learning where idioms come from can help you remember them too. Every idiom has a history. Some are clear and some are not so clear, but where they are clear, they can help you learn them too. And you could always create your own stories. Experiment with idioms. Try to use them, see what reaction you get. Usually, if you do make a mistake with an idiom, someone will smile at it. Some final thoughts on idioms. Idioms are phrases which are difficult to understand just from looking at the words in them. People use idioms often, so it is important to understand them. They are fairly fixed expressions and they don't always conform to standard grammar. Like all vocabulary, context is important when trying to understand idioms. Idioms tend to have their own history, and knowing about this can help you greatly with some of the idioms. And last of all, it's worth examining idioms in your own language. This will give you an idea of how they work, and will also develop an interest in idioms and what they mean in other languages, such as in English. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching. Please watch any other videos and feel free to comment below. I love phrasal verbs and idioms. Oh yes, I do. And especially idioms. Mwahahaha.